know your fears. I know your weaknesses. I know you better than you know yourselves.
Savitar's still out there.
I'll be ready.
You will feel my wrath. The wrath of Savitar.
Please tell me you're seeing him.
Oh, I see him.
Holy crap, everybody. So much happening in this Flash winter finale footage. Let's break it down. And heads up, the Flash ring giveaway is back. For those asking, all you have to do to enter, just be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video, and make sure you turn alerts on. There is crazy stuff happening this month. So, oh my god, I cannot believe they're actually getting this close to Mark Hamill Joker on The Flash. I think what's going on here is that he's just made to look like the Joker, but he's still playing Earth 3 Trickster, the James Jesse Trickster. So Jay Garrick looks like he's been running afoul of him for a long time now. Barry has to go to Earth 3 to get help with Savitar. This is all stuff that's happening after the crossover. So the official synopsis just reads that the Dr. Alchemy Savitar team up is just way too much for Barry to handle, so he's getting super bummed out about Christmas, can't handle like any of the real life stuff that's going on. All he can think about is Savitar and Dr. Alchemy. So even though Wally tries to help out, just like he helped out during the crossover, Barry isn't super happy about that just because he's worried about Wally getting hurt, like rushing into things too fast. So he goes to Earth 3, gets help from Jay Garrick. It looks like he helps Jay Garrick with his Trickster problem. Then they both come back and Jay Garrick helps out with Savitar. But you see him like falling off the building here, so they really want you to think that something really bad is going to happen to Jay Garrick. But TV likes to play a lot of tricks on you, like think about what just happened to Wally. He came in, had a really awesome takedown in this last episode of The Flash, but then Supergirl put him on his ass so he was out of commission for a little while. But even if something terrible happens to Jay Garrick, just think about the Ronnie Raymond Firestorm multiverse workaround. So Robbie Amell gets questions all the time about if he's ever coming back to The Flash. Are you ever going to play the Ronnie Raymond Firestorm again? And he's like, well, there's a multiverse out there. Supergirl is confirmed on Earth 38. That's 36 other versions that could be out there because Earth 2 Ronnie Raymond Deathstorm, may he rest in peace, also died during Flash Season 2. But let's talk about Trickster stuff first. So Mark Hamill coming for the mid-season finale is now a 3-time tradition. So that makes me wonder what they're going to try and do with him next year. It's just that there's like a break in his Star Wars filming schedule that allows him to do this. So I'm so happy about it because usually he has to shave, he has to grow the beard out for Luke.
Axel, I am your father.
So it's always a question of what his availability is going to be because next year there'll be episode 9 filming going on. So hopefully he's done in time to come back for another episode of The Flash next year. Having him around is such a big deal. 1, because he's a really big actor. 2, because he's an amazing actor. And 3, because he's a really big character with a long history of Jay Garrick, John Wesley Shipp, Barry Allen stuff. So John Wesley Shipp has talked a lot about his version of Jay Garrick on The Flash. He's calling him like his version of Barry from that original 90s Flash series, just 20 plus years into the future. So pretend that the world of Earth 3 is the world of that 90s Flash series. The big difference with the comics multiverse and the TV show multiverse is that Earth 3 in the comics is Crime Syndicate Earth, and they kind of did that with Earth 2 with this big evil meta team up that Zoom had in season 2. It's kind of funny, but you see like the bomb strapped to his chest. You see a theme start to appear. The first episode he had where he teamed up with his son, the second version of the Trickster, he had a bomb strapped to his chest. He was going to blow a bunch of people up. The second time he came back in season 2, he was also trying to blow up half of the city with a bunch of bombs in presence. So it'll be fun to see what he tries to blow up this year. But I love Mark Hamill. He's one of the best character actors. Most people just think about Luke Skywalker, Star Wars stuff, but he's done so much animated voiceover work. The Joker's just the biggest character that everybody remembers.
Thinking, how did I laugh? I'm on the freeways in Los Angeles. No, that's not it. No, that's not it.
But let me know in the comments, what is your favorite Mark Hamill character that is not Luke Skywalker? I feel like we can all say that the Joker is probably our favorite Mark Hamill character. Everybody loves Luke Skywalker, but his Joker is so timeless. And what about all this Savitar, Dr. Alchemy stuff that's going on in the episode? Most of you probably noticed that Dr. Alchemy is speaking with a different voice in this trailer than he was in the first couple of episodes that he appeared in this season. That is now because I think that original voice, when we first heard him speak, was speaking with Savitar's voice. The voiceover you hear in this trailer is all Dr. Alchemy. There's no Savitar speaking. I mean, he appears in the trailer, but he doesn't speak. He talks about knowing all their secrets, all their weaknesses. It shows you Iris West. So you start to put two and two together and you're like, oh, what if something happens to Iris West? Because during the crossover episode, we saw a future newspaper that was not written by Iris West. So a lot of you guys were like, wait a minute, does that mean that she dies in the current version of events? So they're going to try and change that this season? Candace Patton is always going to be a big character on The Flash. Like, they're not going to kill off Iris West for good. The Flash is one of those TV shows, though, where they can have moments like that, where they kill someone and then bring it right back just because of all the ways the people's powers work. And there's a lot this season that they're doing with the Flash's powers that we haven't seen before. The way they characterize the Speed Force, the Savitar character, who is a little Full Metal Alchemist. If you guys haven't seen that series, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood has a character that's essentially like a soul bonded to a suit of armor. So even though there's a person in that suit of armor, there's no physical body, like his consciousness is in there. So that might be what's happening with Savitar. It's also kind of a super deep cut, but during the Stargate TV series, there was a character called Anubis that was like a half-ascended being that existed in this in-between sort of trans-dimensional state where he could kind of assume a semi-corporeal form, but the beings, like the higher beings that existed in that universe, could not act against him. They're kind of like the all-powerful gods, like the Speed Force wormhole aliens that we saw during the Flash Season 2 that Barry met inside the Speed Force. But because he existed in this in-between state between pure god and pure normal person like Barry, almost no one could act against him. So that might be why Savitar is so much more of a threat than Zoom, because Zoom was really powerful, he was faster than Barry, but when he messed with time too much, the Speed Force itself acted against him, sent the time wraiths, and turned him into the Black Flash, carrying him off. But then if Savitar is so bad, how come that doesn't happen to him? It just feels like the show has been telling us that he exists in this in-between state, like we see him running through pure Speed Force, not three-dimensional space. So I know it sounds a little confusing, but just imagine someone traveling as pure energy. That's kind of what it would look like to the human eye, like he appears in a bolt of lightning when he's fighting Barry. But it sounds like he's stuck in that state, like he can't completely manifest a physical body in the real world, and that's what he's trying to do with the help of Dr. Alchemy. I know a lot of you are wondering if this is a version of future Barry like the Blue Flash from the comics. I don't think the show is that pessimistic. I don't think it would go down that route, but ultimately they want you, the writers want you to believe in Barry. So I'd be blown away if they ever actually turn Barry into a villain of the series. Barry's always going to do really stupid stuff, but ultimately the idea is that he's the hero of the series. So they don't ever want to poison the audience against Barry. Like, they don't want you to root against Barry. But I can only imagine how the Iris West superfans are going to riot when Savitar ultimately takes a swipe at her, even though the show would never kill her off, but that doesn't mean that she's immune from evil speedsters. And Alchemy says in the trailer, "I know all your weaknesses." Speaking of which, Dr. Alchemy, we pretty much know what's going on with his character. So what is up with the Julian character? It sounds like they're going with a split personality situation because Julian himself seems like he doesn't hate Barry, but this Alchemy persona seems like he's trying to bring about this grand apocalypse so that Savitar can come back. But you do wonder if it's like a Firestorm situation. Like, how is the TV show going to address this multiple personality? Is it like Firestorm, whereby like when Dr. Alchemy is doing stuff, the Julian consciousness is still aware of what's going on, even though he's not fully in control? And that's probably something we're just going to have to wait to find out, because Tom Felton is going to be a big character for the entire season. So they're probably going to take their time explaining what the hell is going on with Dr. Alchemy, even though we kind of know what the identity twist is, we just don't know the reason behind it yet. But you guys can let me know, like, what is your theory behind Dr. Alchemy and Julian Albert? Is he really an evil person, or is it a split personality? And what do you think is going to happen to Jay Garrick? Do you think that Savitar will just almost kill him, put him out of commission, so that quote-unquote he has to go away for a couple episodes before he can come back? Like, they use him very sparingly. Like, there's very little Jay Garrick this season so far. And a lot of you have been asking me about Jay Garrick on Legends of Tomorrow. I ultimately think he'll eventually go there. I haven't seen any confirmation from the producers or the actors that they're actually going to do that, but John Wesley Shipp himself said that he felt like they were probably going to do that. He just kind of did that thing that we all do where it's like, well, Jay Garrick is a huge Justice Society character. They're doing Justice Society on the TV shows now. It makes sense that they would try to find a place for him. But I'll talk a little bit more about that when I post my Legends video this week. That's Thursday. It'll be the 4th night of the crossover. You guys can let me know if you've been finding my crossover videos just fine. I put different titles on the thumbnails just to distinguish them from normal episodes like part 1, part 2, part 3, and then part 4. So there's only 4 parts to the crossover, so I just put those on there so you would know which order the episodes are happening in and which order to watch the videos in. You don't have to watch them in order, but I just put those on there in case people have no idea what's going on. But what's going to happen next is I'm going to do a Rick and Morty Season 3 trailer video. If you have no idea what that show is, I'll try to explain. There'll be a couple more bonus videos, but that's getting ready to get started, so I'll explain in that video. There was also new Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There was a different Ghost Rider that appeared, big twist. So that video might not post till Thursday, but I will do an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider video. It's just that because of all the DC craziness this week, a lot of other stuff that isn't an emergency is second priority. So don't worry, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming, Rick and Morty coming next, and then Arrow 100th episode, so get hype. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here for my crossover part 2 video, and you can click here for the part 1 video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.